Action Figure Show. On tonight's episode, the Action Figure of the Week, Crazy Vintage Bootleg, Larry's Classic Movie Review, Spoiler Alert Action Figures, the latest in action figure news, special guest, Give Me a Break, Laurel Jill Miller. All that and more on the Action Figure Show. And now back from an overnight figure release party at Media Play, it's that Junkman.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. Welcome back to the Action Figure Show. It's our weekly Action Figure Show where we give you the action figure news, look at Action Figure of the Week, just talk action figures, but also movies, pop culture, and lots of other crazy things here on the Action Figure Show every Sunday. Well, almost every Sunday. We took last week off, but hey, we're going to miss some weeks here and there, but I hope you had a good week, and I hope you're ready to talk some action figure news and look at action figures. We got a lot to talk about, but as always, we always have to catch up with Larry to see what he did over the weekend, as he always has a very interesting weekend. So Larry, how was your weekend?
Well, it was a very good weekend. I went to see this girl that lives up the block from me. Man, back in high school, she could turn all the boys' heads. Anyway, I stopped by Friday after she put her kids to bed, and we had a few drinks. You know, her and her husband Bobby, they split up. I guess it's been almost 2 years now. Anyway, we sat around talking about the old times, and she told me whenever she feels like crying, she just thinks about those old times, and she starts to laugh.
Well, time does seem to have a way of doing that. It just slips away and leaves you with nothing but boring stories of the glory days. That's kind of what this YouTube channel is about, and the Action Figure Show. We spent a lot of time talking about the glory days, right? Of growing up in the 80s and maybe 70s and 90s, or who knows? We're talking about any decade we want to talk about. Now, we always start the show with the Action Figure of the Week, and this time we got a Star Wars one. I think this is the first time we had a Star Wars figure for the Action Figure of the Week, and let's take a look. It's everyone's favorite general from the vintage Star Wars action figure line, General Medine. Look at him in his gray uniform, his white hair, and he comes with that little PowerPoint white stick thing. Not sure what it is, but I'm sure if you're a bad boy in the Rebel meeting, you'll find out when you're sent to his office. No one of the Rebels won when you have someone like General Medine on your side. General Medine, man, they needed more scenes with General Medine. I mean, he could have took down the Empire single-handed. Him and his white stick, of course. So we got the action figure of the week out of the way. Coming up later on the show, we got the girl, I forget her name now. Anyway, she was on Give Me a Break. She's here. She's finally going to talk the secrets behind the television show Give Me a Break. I'm ready. Larry, did you watch Give Me a Break?
Not once, not ever, never will, not even watching the commercials. I don't watch anything with Nell Carter.
Not a Nell Carter fan. I'll make a note of that. Yeah, I toned out after the husband or the dad of the show passed away in real life, and they had to write him out of the show. To me, it just lost some of its flair after that. What was her name again? I forgot her name. I'm sorry. Laura Jill Miller. She will be on the show to talk secrets behind Give Me a Break. I want to ask her how they came up with that theme song. That was probably one of the best theme songs of the 80s. But right here, we've got action figure news right here in the palm of my hand, the best action figure news. Now, we're not just going to tell you all the action figure news. We're only going to tell you the best ones worth talking about. You can head over to some other YouTube channel to hear the news you don't want to hear. But when you come to the Action Figure Show, you get the news you need to hear. So let's start with number one. Hot toys. Everybody loves Hot Toys, and everybody loves Star Wars. Yep, there's a new Hot Toys Star Wars coming out. The Dark Trooper. Remember that from The Mandalorian, the final episode, the one with Luke Skywalker, for the final one in Season 2? Let's take a look at the Hot Toys Dark Trooper. This thing looks badass. It's all black, and it even has LED light-up lights. Oh, whatever the red part is on his face. I guess it's eyes. I'm not really sure. Now, if you're a fan of Hot Toys or just a fan of Star Wars Troopers, this is a must-have for you. Hot Toys, Dark Trooper. Man, that one looks... I might have to get that one. That one looks really, really good. I only got one Hot Toys, Kenner-style Boba Fett. I know, Boba Fett. That's so me. Anyway, we gotta check this out. Are you a fan of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? I'm talking about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, not that reboot, remake, title change Johnny Depp movie. I'm talking about the classic with Gene Wilder. Yep. If you're a fan of that, you might want to pick this up. This is more of a statue, but I always put statues and anything from Iron Studios in the mix for action figure news. Check this out. For the 50th anniversary of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Iron Studios is releasing this Wonka statue that comes with 2 Oompa Loompas. 2 Oompa Loompas for the price of 1. I work with a Oompa Loompa every day.
Man, I ain't no Oompa Loompa.
No, you're not an Oompa Loompa. I wish you were an Oompa Loompa, and then at least you could sing. Maybe you need to start coming and doing some songs for us like an Oompa Loompa and do some actual work around here. Okay, let's look at bootleg action figures of the 80s. I've done videos on these before, and I'm sure you love them. They're just wacky, they're crazy, they're bootleg action figures. Let's take a look at number 1. Check out this crazy-eyed, looks confused, Rambo bootleg action figure. He's like, why are you buying me? Why are you buying me, kids? I'm a bootleg. Don't buy me. And that's a weird looking bootleg right there. Number 2, everybody loves Darth Vader, right? And everybody loves the TV show Chips. What if you mixed them together? It would be the greatest thing since peanut butter and chocolate mixing together. Well, you can get Darth Vader on a motorcycle. Check this out. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Oh man, watch out. Starlight is coming to your town to write tickets. That one looks really good here. Here's another one. Do you like He-Man? Do you like Batman? Who doesn't? What if you mixed them together? You know what you would get? This crazy bootleg looking Batman that looks like a He-Man figure. Man, I don't know about you, but this makes me want to collect bootlegs. Hey, toy companies, step up your game. The bootleg companies are doing better than you. Oh, how about this one right here? Superpowers. You all love superpowers, I'm sure. Well, what about superpower bootlegs? Batman and Superman. That is some great stuff right there. And number 5, we're not going to look at, this is different, not a bootleg action figure. Kids had to play with something, and they even have bootleg play sets. Move over, Castle Grayskull. Step aside, Snake Mountain. It's the bootleg of Monster Castle. Now you can have half the fun at half the price with Monster Castle. Yoo-hoo, looks like something your grandma would buy you when you tell her you wanted a He-Man playset. That's a look up at bootleg, crazy bootleg action figures or playsets, right? Well, it comes to that time of show where we have to pay the bills, sadly, here, where we're going to have to take a break. So we'll be back in about 30-40 seconds with more from the Action Figure Show.
Mr. Bucket!
That's right, I'm Mr. Bucket. I'm Mr. Bucket. Toss your balls in my mouth, I'm Mr. Bucket. Out of my mouth I will pop, I'm Mr. Bucket. We're all gonna run, I'm Mr. Bucket.
The
game's Mr. Bucket. The first to get their balls into Mr. Bucket's mouth wins, but look out, because the balls will pop out of his mouth.
I'm Mr. Bucket. The balls pop out of my mouth, I'm Mr. Bucket. A ball is what I'm about, I'm Mr. Bucket. We're all gonna run, I'm Mr. Bucket. Buckets of fun.
Mr. Bucket from Milton Bradley.
Buckets of fun.
Burger King presents Return of the Jedi Glasses. 4 new glasses from the Star Wars saga. Filled with the adventures of Luke Skywalker, the Ewoks, Han Solo, and Jabba the Hutt. Buy a medium or large Coke, and a different glass is yours each week for a special price. Collect all 4. Return of the Jedi Glasses, now appearing only at Burger King.
Welcome back to the Action Figure Show. It's me, the Junkman, bringing you the latest in action figure news and just talking action figures and pop culture. And I got my buddy Larry the Wampa over here to help out. Hey, Larry, what are we going to do now?
I'm not really sure. I wasn't really paying much attention there. Sorry. How about the news?
That's right, more news. I got news right here, and this one. If you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, you're going to love this one. Retro's the way to go, and Playmates are going to do 2 different sets. A good guy set and a bad guy set related to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's right, you heard me right. The Gallagher-inspired toy line and movie and comic. Now check this out. Playmates is releasing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 6-pack of figures with this beautiful theme box for $90. It will be a previews exclusive. Also, you can get the 6-pack villain set, which is going to cost you about $10 more at $100. Not really sure why it costs more. I guess these figures just cost more to produce. Both will ship in June. Man, I'm not even a fan really of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Never saw the cartoon, never bought the figures, never read the comic. But those look pretty cool, if you ask me. Yeah, they do. And some more toy news. I think you'll like this one too.
What, you've never seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Man, you gotta check it out. Bebop and Rocksteady, they are the bomb diggity.
Really, Larry? I should check out... Okay, Larry says I should check out Ninja Turtles. Maybe I should. Here's some more news for you that grew up in the 80s. Hey, that's not a kid. That's a Karate Kid. They're making action figures from Karate Kid and that blonde dickhead. For $70, Neca's releasing this 2-pack of the Karate Kid and his foe. But if 2 figures aren't enough for you, you can get the 3-pack that for some reason comes with a guy that worked at Arnold's on Happy Days. Kinda odd, and that one's $105. Arnold, I don't know why they threw in a Happy Days action figure with that set. Remember, did he own Arnold or did he work at Arnold's? I think he worked there. I can't remember. I think the Big Lagoo worked there too. The Big Lagoo, or was that Laverne and Shirley? The Big Lagoo. Okay, here's a new segment we're gonna do. This is one Larry came up with. It's where we look at the sexy action figure of the month. This is where we take a female action figure. Sorry if you're into men. Me and Larry's into women. We're gonna look at sexy action figure. I can't talk. I'm so excited about this topic. We're going to look at female action figures each month. So check this one out. This week's the first action figure girl is from the G.I. Joe line, CoverGirl. Oh, look at her. She's beautiful. She looks like she could kick ass and also make you a mean lasagna. This is CoverGirl from the G.I. Joe line. Here she is, spread out in full display on a tank. What is more sexier than a sexy woman sitting on a tank? There's not much more sexier than that. Ooh, Larry, you're going to get your cave melted looking at stuff like that. Ooh, that is the sexy action figure of the month, CoverGirl from the G.I. Joe line. Did you like that, Larry?
Ooh, that made my pants tight.
Now, spoiler alert. These are action figures that spoiled movies for us. You couldn't give them a sport, and there was no time for a spoiler warning.
Relax, Junkman. Get it out. You know the comments gonna go crazy if you screw it up.
I know, they'll tell me in the comments over and over again that I can't talk or tell me how to pronounce it. You said something wrong. You said Hey, Junkman. It's not Klaatu, it's Klaatu. If you're gonna correct me, at least look at the comments and make sure 9 other people didn't already do that. Who watches these videos? I don't know. I say words wrong. I mean, I can't even say Jerusalem, and I know how to say it. You know that country. Jerusalem. Okay, I'm just embarrassing myself here. Spoiler alert. Walking into an action figure store shouldn't spoil a movie for you, but with these action figures, it did just that. The first one on the list is one I'm sure is going to be on everyone's spoiler list. From the Batman, the animated movie, Mask of Phantasm. Great movie, and we all sat on the edge of our feet. We all sat on the edge of our seat, wondering who was behind that mask. Well, thanks to Kenner and your local toy store, we got it spoiled for us before the movie even hit theaters.
I have seen the movie 9 times, and I still can't figure out who it is behind that mask.
But it's a great movie. Check it out. Number 2. Are you a fan of the movie Shrek? In Shrek 2, the beautiful, sexy girlfriend of Shrek turns into an ugly, fat, green ogre just like him. And that come to no surprise if you went to Burger King and got a kid's meal, because inside was a figurine, not a figure. I don't know what the difference is, but they call it a figurine, of Shrek's girlfriend, now a big, fat, green ogre just like him. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Okay, number 3. The Mysterious Blank from Dick Tracy. Again, like the Mask of Phantasm, we wondered who this was throughout the whole movie. Was it Warden Beatty? Was it Dustin Hoffman? No, you bought the figure, took off the mask, and you found out it was a very ugly looking Madonna. Now, to be fair, they did ship this figure with the mask on, so you had to buy it before you knew who it was, and most kids wouldn't buy it until they saw the movie anyway, and it was very limited, this figure was. I think it was only released in Canada, I'm not sure, it was very, very rare. So, this one, I'm gonna let slide. Number 4, are you a fan of Ant-Man? Who doesn't love Ant-Man? We all know Ant-Man is very small. He's as small as an ant. But did you know Ant-Man could get big? Very big? Bigger than anyone in the room? Well, you knew that if you walked into your local toy store and saw a Lego set before you saw a movie where he becomes big. Now, I think that's in the Avenger movie. I'm not really sure. But thanks Lego for spoiling that not only can Ant-Man be little, he can be big. Okay, and the last one, spoiler alert, last one right here. This one comes from Spider-Man Homecoming. If you went to your toy store before going to see Spider-Man Homecoming, you got excited because there you saw Shocker in his full costume. And you were like, damn, that spoils the movie for me. Now I know what he looks like. So you headed to the local theater and you sat and you waited and you waited and you waited. And this time the spoiler's on you. We got an action figure of the spoiler in costume, but we never saw it in the movie. Whew. Now that's a spoiler of a different kind.
Well, as my Gammy used to say, if you don't want a movie spoiled, stay out of the toy store.
That's good advice, Larry. Stay out of the Woolworths if you don't want to be spoiled when a movie's coming out. Now where we go? Oh, it's time for a classic movie review from Larry. This is where Larry gives you a review of a classic movie, usually from the 80s, and he gives you his take on it. Larry?
My classic movie review this month is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Has anybody seen this? Everyone told me it was great, so I finally watched it. What's going on here? Why is Ferris Bueller the hero of the movie? I don't understand. A kid cuts school and the principal wants to catch him, and the principal's the bad guy? Oh, I mean, that's what you're supposed to go to school. Kid, you're supposed to go to school. The principal is the hero of the movie, but they treat him like he's the villain. He lies to his parents. He lies to his teacher. He hacks into the computer. He lies to everybody, and the movie acts like he's some kind of golden god. No, Ferris Bueller isn't a god. He's a rude asshole. Sorry, I'm gonna say it. He's an asshole. And the principal, he's my hero. All he wants to do is catch this kid, teach him a lesson, keep him in school. He wants to make sure he gets a good education. But no, everyone wants Ferris Bueller to cut school. But, when you cut school, you're only hurting yourself.
Larry, I think you missed the whole fun of the movie. No one roots for the principals. We'll be right back after this.
It's the name brands, and it's the savings. It's a good day to be at Kmart. Kmart, we've got it, and we've got it good. At Kmart, we've got it, and we've got it good. It's a good feeling, walking through our door. One good department after another, all in one good store. It's a good day, we're saving our way, and we'll do our best to make you glad that you came. Kmart, we've got it, and we've got it good. At Kmart, we've got it, and we've got it good.
Welcome back to the Action Figure Show. Don't forget, coming up, Oral Jill Miller will tell us all the secrets of Give Me a Break. It's going to be a good one. Hey, Larry, you know what I've been watching last couple of weeks? I've been watching season 1 of season 2. That's all they are. The Orville. I love this show. I went back and rewatched them all. I loved it when it first came out, but this time I really enjoyed it even more. Have you watched the Orville?
I'm really enjoying it. I didn't watch it when it first came out, and I got kind of late on the watching train, but I really have enjoyed it so far.
Oh, it's the best Star Trek on TV right now. If you guys hadn't seen the Orville, please check it out. Watch the first season. The first one, it took me a little bit. It took me the first couple episodes to get into, where I was like, this humor and Star Trek like show is just not mixing. But when I got to know the characters, I got to know the show. It was really good. And you get to see some Star Trek cast members show up that you'll recognize throughout the show. But oh man, I loved it. Boris sitting on his egg. I love the security girl. I forget her name now, man. She was cute, but they got rid of her. Brought another one on, which I'm still trying to warm up to.
I really enjoyed that.
What episode did you like?
I really enjoyed that 2-parter K-Line episode. Man, that one was intense.
Yeah, if you hadn't checked out the Orville, please check it out. Watch the first season. Although to me, second season is a lot better than the first season. One more piece of action figure news, and this one's Star Trek related. Check out this Data action figure coming out. Eco 6 will release our first Contact Data action figure this April. Hey, Captain Foley, you can add this to your Star Trek collection for only $190. Whoa, I like that one. That one looks really good. Speaking of television shows, this week, I think it's this week, Sunday, right? This week, Freaks and Geeks comes to Hulu. Now, this is only a one-season show. You can watch it in an afternoon almost. If you like this content on here, if you grew up in the 80s, man, you have to watch Freaks and Geeks if you've never seen it. I'm thinking about even reviewing some of the episodes maybe, because this show captures that 80s feeling more than anything I can think of. And I can relate to the geeks, to the nerdy kids, but then I can relate my high school years to the burnouts, the freaks. So it's pretty good, but they do really good of capturing that 80s feeling without beating you over the head with it. A lot of shows will beat you over the head. Hey, this is the 80s. Remember this, remember that. But this one doesn't. It's really well written show, great characters. Larry, have you seen Freaks and Geeks?
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed this show. Really great show. In fact, did you know it's a remake? It was actually based on a show on Hall called Taunts and Womps. It's a very good show.
Out of the show, who do you think you're the most like on Freaks and Geeks?
Oh, I can really relate to Harold. Man, I see a lot of myself in him. You know, the dad of the family.
Sadly, I kind of agree with him. I can see that.
What about you? Who can you relate to more on the show?
Well, I think being younger, more in elementary school and maybe the start of junior high, they call it, middle school, we called it. Sam, I mean the main geek, the main kid. I can relate to him a lot. But I never dated a cheerleader. But when it comes to the high school years, I can really say myself, and I can't forget it. I forget his name now. Well, the Seth Rogen character. I don't know. He just has that little smart ass attitude that I remember having in high school, and he always had something smart ass to say, and I just really can relate to him in my high school years. Anyway, check it out if you have Hulu. Freaks and Geeks. Trust me, you'll love it, especially if you grew up in the 80s or love that time period. You'll love Freaks and Geeks. Okay, what are we going to do now? Oh yeah. Larry, I wanted to ask you this. I've been wanting to ask you this for a long time. What hat from a movie would you like to own and wear? I mean, I know a lot of people's going to say Indiana Jones fedora hat would be a cool one to have. To me, I think it's this guy from the Imperial Dignitary. Now, I can't remember him in the movie, but that hat I want. That hat just looks awesome because it looks like it would just piss off people. I would love to wear it to a movie or to a ball game or something. And just see the people behind you would get so upset. Like, what's in his hat? Or you could fill it with popcorn. And then, when the movie starts and the lights go off, take your hat off, you got free popcorn that you popped at your house instead of buying it for $25 at the theater. Larry, what movie hat would you like?
Well, I had always wanted from a movie, and it's from Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it's not the fedora that Indiana Jones wears or the top hat that Belloc wears. It's that red hat that this guy right here wears. I always wanted this hat. It looks awesome, and man, I think I could get a lot of chicks if I had that hat.
I tell you, every time I see that movie, that's what I think also. So I would love to have that hat. I wonder where that hat came from. I wonder if he brought it to the set with him. And it's like, hey, Spielberg, can I wear this? You know, I never saw that guy in another movie, so maybe he did that and Spielberg, put him on a blacklist or something. Like, don't work with this guy, he's difficult. He wants to wear his own hat to the set. Oh, anyway, now it's time to get some Give Me a Break Secrets with one of his founding cast members, Laurel Jill Miller. Ladies and gentlemen, just flew in from Los Angeles, California. It's
Junkman.
Larry?
I hate to say it, but we're out of time. Sorry.
Damn, out of time? Maybe if we didn't ramble about what hats we wanted to wear from a movie or old television shows, we would have had a time. Sorry, Laura Jill Miller, but you still get a gift basket for showing up. Well, believe it or not, we're out of time. That's the Action Figure Show for this week. Larry, how they're going to find us on social media?
You want to go over to Instagram? Well, you want to find us on Instagram on the Action Figure Show. Now, Twitter's a little bit more complicated. It's the Action Fig Show. Action Fig Show. They limit how many letters you can use in a username, so it's Action Fig Show.
It's really not that complicated. Every week he tells you it's complicated, and every week he never really uses it. But check it out, the Action Figure Show on Twitter and Instagram, or Dad Junkman on Twitter or Instagram. Think you'll enjoy what you see there, but you might not. It gets a little crazy over on the social media. It gets a little crazy on the social media networks. Anyway, that's the Action Figure Show. Thank you for joining us. Check out the channel for videos throughout the week, and we'll be back probably next Sunday with more action figure news on the Action Figure Show.
Junkman.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.